check.
Mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2. Let's see how it comes up.
Should have audio.
I don't have. It's not even coming up yet.
Somebody let us know in the chat if we have audio. Audio check.
Testing my. I don't. Like I said, it's not coming up.
Test the mics.
Testing mic 1 2. Testing mic 1 2. Oh. What the heck's wrong with my phone, Jordy? Well, there it is. Now it's coming on.
Sounds good.
Cool.
Ready to go, my friend?
Whenever you're ready, my friend. Whoa, what a night.
Here we go. Well, welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to Week 14 edition of our recap show. Mr. Gary Swallow, what a night of high school football around the state of Louisiana. Tickets were punched tonight. They're walking to New Orleans.
They are. And we had some shockers.
Some
big
shockers.
shockers. And we had some people we thought were going to get there by bigger margins than we thought, and some not so much bigger margins than we thought. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. But, man, New Orleans. Can you believe it, Jordy? In 1 week, we're going to be in New Orleans watching some state football finals.
Gary, we had some locals punch their ticket tonight. We're going to talk about them.
Right.
We also had some locals go down
Yeah.
tonight. But we're going to be represented next week no matter what.
Oh, very well.
We're guaranteed one state championship's coming home next week because we got an all Lafayette showdown to talk about.
I know it, and we're going to talk big about that. That's going to be awesome.
LCA St. Thomas More, the rematch, and this time it's for the title.
That's right. Coming back with the big trophy. That's what it's going to be all about. Can it be a repeat of the last time, or can it switch?
Another local punching
That's
their
right.
ticket tonight. How about the Vermilion Catholic Screaming Eagles? Total domination.
From the beginning to the end, it was just unbelievable to watch them. It was close at first, which we thought. Then all of a sudden, they flexed their muscles and just dominated the game.
Hey, they're the 1 seed for a reason.
That's right, Jordan. They are.
They earned that position, and now they're going to go play for a state championship next week.
Yes, they are. And I'm telling you, they've got a good team, but they're going to have a good opponent too.
A very good
We're
opponent.
talk about that.
The opponent that they're going to face is going to be in the title game for their 4th straight time.
Right.
Ouachita Christian,
Ouachita, right. Ouachita Christian.
4 in a row for that football team.
Unbelievable. And we've had a couple of them like that. And we had some surprising turnarounds, a shock to me. But we got an old nemesis, an old champion that's back in the title game.
And who's that, my friend?
John Curtis.
What a win for J.T. Curtis and John
Yes.
Curtis tonight. They went on the road and took down Catholic of BR. We said it. That looked like the best team in the state of Louisiana. Well, somebody didn't tell the Patriots that tonight.
That's right. They came out, and it was a close game, good game, but one team has to win, one team has to lose. And we'll talk more about that.
Yeah. Vermilion Catholic, first title game appearance since 2013. You know they're
Right.
feeling good in Abbeville right now.
They are.
The
I tell
party
you what,
has just begun.
we were fortunate enough to go and watch that game live. And, we were out there, and we got a chance to watch it, and we saw some familiar faces. You know what I was impressed with, and we're going to talk about that later. But the community of Abbeville, Vermilion Catholic, small school, Catholic school, and then you had some people from the Abbeville Wildcats that were there supporting the Screaming Eagles. So that shows you how tight that community is. They stay together, and then they, all coming up, and then some go to the Abbeville High, some go to Vermilion Catholic, and it's amazing to see the support in that town.
Yes, indeed, my friend. You take a look at it also. We take a look at Division III for a second.
Right.
New blood at the Dome this year when, I tell you, Dunham High School dethrones University Lab tonight. Big shockwaves around the state of Louisiana. A lot of people didn't see it that way. They thought ULAB was too low in the seedings, but Dunham, where did this football team come from?
They came up and they said, wait, don't forget about us. And, the old saying, to be the champ, you got to beat the champ. Well, they just beat the champ.
Gary, how about Brother Martin going down to Karen Crow tonight, knocking off the Bears at the Crow Dome? First time since 1990 that Brother Martin's been in the title game.
That is amazing. I didn't see that coming. I knew Brother Martin was good, but Brother Martin is a high seed.
13.
I mean, they're 13th. They're a 13th seed, and they went in there and said this was too high a number for us.
Gary, hold on a second.
Too big a number for us.
Hold on a second, Gary. You got no Acadiana this year. You got no Edna Carr. You got no Warren Easton.
Right.
You got no Catholic of Baton Rouge.
Right.
No Jesuit. No Bird.
Man, we got new blood.
We got Brother Martin and John Curtis playing for the title this year. All those names will not be in the title picture this year. Wow.
Well, Jordy, when they came out with this division, this format, they said they wanted competition every week. Well, guess what? They pretty much got it pretty close. There's still some tweaking to do, but man, they come out with a lot of eyebrows going up and everything like that. But that was some competitive ball games, Jordy. All through.
Gary, if I told you at the beginning of this baby, we said we wanted Tackett Curtis versus Trey Holly. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you got it.
We got it. I mean, I couldn't believe that. But I'm gonna tell you, Trey Holly is a young man.
Hold on. You got LSU commit versus USC commit.
Right.
Manny's making their third straight appearance in the state title game. Union Parish is making their third straight appearance in the state title game. What a dandy.
Well,
I can't wait to see those two meet in the hole.
You're going to start Thursday at 3:30, something like that. And you're going to have games, 2 games Thursday, 3 games Friday, 3 games Saturday. Let me tell you something. If you like high school football, that's the place to be, because I'm going to tell you, all of these games are going to be awesome. Looking at the matchups right now. It is unbelievable.
You know
just can't believe it.
I mean, you look at Big Ruston back in the title game since, 1990, if I'm not mistaken?
Yeah, somewhere in that area, yeah.
And they got a quiet, scary Destrehan team that's undefeated right now. You talking about a marquee matchup to end the night.
You gotta watch it. I'm gonna tell you right now, Destrehan is quiet. They haven't been talked about much, except for probably around the New Orleans area. But let me tell you something. That team there scares me.
You know who else is pretty damn good? It's the Bearcats.
You're right.
In Ruston.
Oh, let me tell you something.
Friday night, 7 p.m., Ruston and Destrehan. Oh, my God.
Can you, North Louisiana versus South Louisiana. Isn't that awesome? Can't ask for better than that. Can't ask for it. And you got tradition. I've seen Destrehan play, and they've been in the title hunt for many, many times. But let me tell you something. This team is quiet. Then you have Ruston. Their destiny this year has been, we've talked about them all year, was to be in the Dome. And guess what? They're there.
Gary, LCA.
Right.
6th straight title appearance.
6.
They've moved up to 4A and did not miss a beat. This is their 6th straight appearance in the title game.
You know what? We were talking about them and how we were shocked that they didn't do it last year, get that 5-peat last year coming out, second. But they went against a St. Charles Comet team that was really kicking on all cylinders.
It was their year.
It was their year to win it. This year, LCA said, don't forget about us.
Man.
And guess who they got to go against? The big brother of Lafayette. Oh, my God.
LCA St. Thomas
More.
How many points will be scored that night?
Man.
You don't have to be that night because you're going to get it at noon.
Yeah,
that's
what I'm saying.
That's going to be the first game of the day
God.
On Friday.
Can you imagine Friday starting off with that game?
All of Lafayette's going to be there.
That's what I'm saying.
Shut down the town.
I saw somebody put it on Facebook. They said, turn out the lights because ain't nobody going to be left in Lafayette. They're going to all be in New Orleans. It's unbelievable. LCA, St. Thomas More, and not on a home site, on a neutral site.
Yes.
Everything is working. Turf field, speed. No have to worry about rain. No have to worry about nothing. Just go out and play some football.
St. Thomas More won this game in the regular season by a touchdown. So we will see what Part 2 has in store. If it's anything like Part 1 was, we should be in for a treat.
Right. I'm going to tell you, it is going to be amazing. High school football at its finest is in the Dome. Isn't it? I'm so happy that the LHSAA started putting everybody back in the Dome like they're supposed to. That should have never been separated. But now they're back. And guess what? We have 3 days of high school football heaven.
You're talking about the game to kick off the entire weekend. It's going to be Thursday.
Thursday, right?
At 3:30. You got Old Blood versus New Blood when Oak Grove, a team of tradition, a team full of championship banners.
Right.
They're going to play the new guys on the block, Homer.
Right.
They won a state championship last year. Guess where they're back? They're right back into the title picture again this year, and they're going to try to repeat. Oak Grove, a team full of tradition. Homer trying to build on their tradition.
On that tradition, yes.
That's going to kick off the weekend.
That is going to be an awesome game. You can't, picking one of those guys, you can't lose. You can't lose trying to pick one of those guys over the other because they're both that good, and it's going to be amazing. But to start off with a game like that, my God.
Blaze said STM's going to win by 30 points. Blaze, you might want to call it a night. Have you seen what LCA has done the last 2 weeks?
LCA has put
scored
up
60 points the last 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm. It's unbelievable.
That game's going to be a track meet.
I think that's what I'm saying. I think it's going to the over on that's going to be 150.
150, baby.
150. It's unbelievable, man. It's going to be great. I don't care what anybody says. These ball games, these matchups are looking awesome.
70 last week, 68 this week. So, I mean, their offense and Juwan Johnson is going absolutely crazy these last 2 weeks. Their receiver had 5 touchdowns.
That's what I'm saying. They just threw the ball up and said, go get it. And he went and got it. I think, wasn't it, they were basically just trying to run out the clock, and they just threw the ball up, and he caught it, and then nobody around him, so he ran into the end zone.
Gary,
Unbelievable.
Gary, I guarantee the 3:30 game will not start on time Friday because of how long that game will last with points scored and incomplete passes.
I believe it. I believe it. I truly believe that. I got to agree with you. That is going to be a track meet, wide open. Let's go get it. Unbelievable.
Ladies and gentlemen, Division 4 Select Playoff Brackets. How did the night go? We start off where we were. I want to say thank you so much to Coach Brock.
Yeah.
Praise John, and congratulations to Coach Brock and his entire staff and his players for punching their ticket to the state title game. Well deserved, well earned.
Right, well deserved.
Thank you for allowing us to come visit with the team this evening. Sideline passes tonight.
Mm-hmm. You got a chance to walk around, kind of watch them do their job, watch them work and work with their teams. It's amazing to watch good coaches work with their teams, and he's got everything going with that ball club. And just say congratulations.
Yeah, we looked at this matchup. We said the running back, highly talented running back in the state of Louisiana. He's the number one running back in the 2025 class.
Right.
And he had to go against a defense that has only given up, 30 points all season?
They only gave up 7 tonight, and that's basically 3 quarters tonight that they didn't allow a point. And they keep adding. I don't know if you noticed, but those three, they've only allowed 1 score in the last 4 or 5 games, something to that effect. I'm not sure. I think one game they allowed 2.
You shut down Southern Lab last week for 7,
right?
And you know how explosive they can be.
Right.
You shut down one of the state's leading rushers tonight to 7 points tonight. Vermilion Catholic, it was close at first. It was 14-7 at halftime.
Right.
Offense was not there yet. But when they came out of the second half, I don't know what coach said to him. But that team came out with a vengeance.
The old saying, he threw some gas on that fire. That's what it was. He threw some gas on that fire, and they came out smoking and going.
Number 5 looked like himself in the second half. He had some big-time runs.
He had some helps. 33 looked real good, too.
Yes.
I mean, their quarterback, number 1, he was just – you want to talk about a impressive young man. He could read his blockers, cut back, and just – it was amazing to watch it. Watch those 3 play, plus that defense just rise up and shut it down.
Gary, you talk about a team that plays with a lot of swagger, confidence, and trust.
Correct. And when you see something not right, the seniors on that team were communicating with the coaches. Hey, this is going on. Need to do this. Need to do. And they were communicating with the coach. Yeah. And you know what the coach did? He listened.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable. I was so impressed with that.
That defense definitely gives them a chance next week against a really good Ouachita Christian football team. Mm-hmm. How that one will go, yet to be determined.
Right. I don't know, but I'm going to tell you, that's, to me, I don't care what anybody says, to me, those were the 2 best teams in Division IV Select all year.
Final score, Vermilion Catholic 41, St. Martin's Episcopal 7. The Screaming Eagles are off to the big dance, and they will play the winner of the Ouachita Christian and Ascension Catholic game. This one was a rout. Ouachita Christian 42-14 winners over Ascension Catholic. We said it a little bit earlier. This is the 4th straight appearance for OCS as they head back to New Orleans. And what a final we have in store. The number 1 ranked team, Vermilion Catholic Screaming Eagles, will take on the number 3 ranked Ouachita Christian in a Thursday slot for the Division IV Select State Championship. Right. It is your nightcap, 7 p.m.
Right.
For the title.
Right. It's going to be amazing to watch these 2 teams go at it. For, Division IV, the smaller schools in the select division, these 2 teams are going to really be showing off.
Yes, indeed.
It's going to be awesome.
So 7 o'clock Thursday, Vermilion Catholic, Ouachita Christian. That has big time football written all over it. Because you're going to see 2 good defenses going at it.
Right. And I'm going to tell you, those 2 teams, you can flip a coin because on any given day, any one of those 2 teams can take home the trophy.
Should be a lot of fun. We'll be there to see it in person.
Good Lord willing.
Next up, Division III Select Bracket. University Lab, state champions from a year ago, trying to get back to the title game. They dominated Newman the previous round, had eyes on the title, but before they could get there, they ran into Dunham. And Dunham, the 4 seed Holy hell, the points they scored this playoffs. They put up 56 in round 2, 50 in round 3, and Gary, they take down the defending state champs tonight, 35-28 at home in front of a rocking Dunham crowd. And Dunham is headed to the state title game. I'm not sure when it's the last time Dunham's been to the state title game, but what a moment for that community.
We talked about this whenever we did our pick show. We thought that this was going to be the most competitive game of the entire weekend, and it really turned out to be that way because a touchdown difference.
35-28, Dunham. Off to New Orleans.
Right, Dunham, great job. Congratulations to Dunham. Great year for University of Lab. They were defending champions. They played well, put up a lot of points, but
to be the champ, you got to beat the champ.
And Dunham just did it. Yeah.
St. Charles, Notre Dame meeting for the third time in a row in the semifinals. Pios cannot get over the Comets hump, Gary.
I know it. It's been crazy,
and it's been 3 close games the last 3 years.
Right, and the Division III, the 2, semi games were actually the closest out of the whole. I think the whole bunch.
The whole 8 brackets.
The whole 8 brackets. These 2 were the closest. One University lost by a touchdown to Dunham, and Notre Dame, they were in it too. They were close, and
a little too late.
I think touchdown also, if I'm not mistaken.
7 final score.
Yeah. So I mean, these were the 2 most competitive games out of the whole brackets, all of them. So, congratulations. What's the final, Jordy?
St. Charles at home tonight beats the Pios of Notre Dame 17-10. St. Charles headed back to New Orleans with repeat on their mind.
Right. Defending state champions. They want another one. Dunham says, not so fast. They got to play the game. And Dunham's going to give them a whirl, but man, it's going to be interesting.
So this is your matchup in the Division III Select Bracket next week, ladies and gentlemen. It will be the number 2 ranked St. Charles Comets versus the number 4 ranked Dunham Tigers, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
Friday, 3:30 is your scheduled kickoff. That's one we're worried about.
Yeah.
This one might not start on time.
Yeah, it might be kind of late.
STM and LCA.
Right.
But, because you got to give them an hour to warm up afterwards.
Yeah.
So, get your popcorn,
we'll
get ready.
Sit down and get comfortable.
After we watch that thriller of a first game, we sit back and we watch another good one.
That's
because
right.
Dunham and St. Charles, they're going to go at it for 4 quarters. It's going to be a fun one.
You are correct, my friend.
So Friday, 3:30, number 2 versus number 4 for the Division III Select State Championship.
Yes, sir. Man. Now we go Division II, sir. Man.
So we talked about this one earlier, but we're going to talk about it a little bit more right now. St. Thomas More and E.D. White. It was a battle at Cougar Stadium tonight. St. Thomas More trying to get back to NOLA. You've seen them play in the title game a couple times in different locations. Can they get back to New Orleans? Well, Gary, when they play at Cougar Stadium, you know how good they are.
Yeah.
And that offense is one of the best we've seen this year. So St. Thomas More, final 38-7 over E.D. White. Cougars headed back to New Orleans, Gary.
Yeah. And I'm going to tell you, they flexed their muscles. E.D. White had a good defense all year. They've been playing very well, but couldn't stymie that Cougar offense. They were just sitting on all cylinders.
Not many have this year.
Correct. So St. Thomas More, congratulations.
They are the one seed.
They're the ones. Yeah, they're the one seeds for a reason. Yeah.
So you take a look at who they will play in the state championship game.
This was the all Acadiana bracket.
you wanted to see an all Lafayette showdown. St. Thomas More had to take care of their part because LCA Turlings, you're guaranteed to get one there.
Correct.
And if St. Thomas More would take care of their part, then guess what? A title's coming back to Lafayette.
That's right.
Well, here you go. LCA Turlings Gary, the score was what, 40-14 at one point?
At one point, yes, sir.
LCA was steamrolling and it was en route. But
it changed.
Somebody said Turlings kept fighting and they fought all the way back. It was a 40-32 ball game.
Right.
At one point.
One score.
It was a one-score game. LCA scored. Turlings came back and scored, made it another one-score game. And then LCA put it in goal.
You're right.
They just separated, and it was a little too late after a late touchdown to make this score out of reach. Juwan Johnson and that receiver tonight, they said it was over 700 total yards offense from LCA tonight. The receiver had 5 touchdowns.
We heard that on the radio coming back. It was amazing.
The quarterback went nuts again.
Right.
LCA, Coach Trev Falk, Juwan Johnson, they're headed to New Orleans, rightfully so, when you put up 68 big ones. Final score, LCA 68, Turlings 46. Turlings' quest to get to the state championship falls tonight in the semis. And Lafayette Christian Academy, 6 in a row.
Correct.
Playing for a state title. What a story over there.
That's amazing. LCA is such an... They're up here. LCA is such an amazing story. They were going for a 5P. That's 5 champions. Came up a little short against a good St. Charles team last year. But they're back in the hunt, and they're going to try to go for basically 5 out of 6.
That's going to be a fun one.
Yes. All Lafayette.
I can't wait
a repeat match.
I can't wait to just sit there and enjoy the show.
Mm-hmm.
May the best team win on Friday.
All I know is the trophy's coming back to Lafayette.
So you have your matchup. Number 1 ranked St. Thomas More Cougars versus the number 6 ranked Lafayette Christian Academy Knights Friday at noon for the Division II Select State Championship. That will kick off the Friday slate of games, and rightfully so. It could have been a nightcap game.
You're right.
Because of how good it is. Boot along, Mr. Swallow.
This one here, man, just amazed me in a lot of ways. Division I Select, sir. All you can say is, wow.
Who saw these seeds playing for a state title is the question mark here. And you have new blood in the title picture since the first time since the 90s.
Right.
So it's going to be exciting. This is an all New Orleans showdown for the state championship.
Right.
So we take a look at this one. Karen Crow and Brother Martin, this was close.
Right.
Karen Crow had a 10-point lead at one point, and then Brother Martin just came out of nowhere and never looked back. They got an onside kick and went up 2 scores, and then the route was on.
Right.
Brother Martin, a little too strong tonight for Karen Crow at home. We all thought the Crow could get it done at home. Brother Martin comes in as a 13 seed, not rightfully a 13 seed. This bracket was loaded with teams.
Right. Well, Karen Crow itself was an 8 seed.
Karen Crow was an 8. Brother Martin was a 13. Both teams made great runs through the playoffs. Karen Crow knocks off 1. Brother Martin knocked off 4, 5, and 8. What can you speak on their resume here getting to the title game?
Yeah, you can't say anything other than, man, they really did a great job because, you know, you look at, first of all, Brother Martin is always competitive. Mm-hmm. They're always competitive. Karen Crow, at home, always competitive. But Brother Martin just flexed their muscles tonight.
This was not an easy road for Brother Martin.
No.
They had to take down St. Aug.
Correct.
At St. Aug. They had to take down Northwood Shreveport. And then they had to come all the way to Karen Crow and take down Karen Crow when it was state championship stakes on the line.
Right. And you can't say anything more than, boy, they
deserved.
They did what they had to do. Well deserved.
Yes,
so
indeed.
Congratulations to Brother Martin. What was the score?
Final score tonight, Brother Martin goes on the road, knocks off Karen Crow 55-24. the 13 seed is the highest seed that will play for a state title next week.
Right.
Out of all 8 brackets.
13 seed in the championship game. That's amazing.
Gary, these two teams, all too familiar with each other in the state title game. They played each other in the regular season because they're part of the Catholic League.
Right.
John Curtis and Catholic of Baton Rouge, who would meet Brother Morton in the finals. We watched this game on the sideline tonight. We put it on the phone. It was, at one point, John Curtis had a 10-point lead, and shock waves just hit the state of Louisiana. Catholic of Baton Rouge is supposed to be the best team in the state, hands down, from top to bottom. They're loaded with D1 talent. John Curtis can't get over the Catholic of BR hunt. Guess what, Gary? JT Curtis got his team ready tonight. They went down to Baton Rouge, and they shocked the state of Louisiana tonight and knocked off the defending state champions.
You're right. Let me tell you something.
When in doubt, don't count Curtis out.
You know, back, and because I'm the old guy here, I remember when John Curtis would win year after year after year after year. I mean, I think they said 26 state championships for John Curtis. Well, let me tell you something. They're in the title game again, and they went to Catholic of Baton Rouge, and they put on I don't want to say they killed them, but they put on a consistent show of how to beat this team, because they played fundamental football. They had to. Look at the score. I mean, they just did a little bit more than what Catholic did. And that's surprising to me, because you and me talked about Catholic of Baton Rouge was going to be our state champion, you know, whenever we did our picks. And Curtis said, we have tradition. We have lots of tradition, and we're coming back. And we always ask, will Curtis ever come back and win some more titles? Well, guess what? They have a shot.
It's been a while since they've been in the title game, but guess who's back? It's Mr. J.T. Curtis and the John Curtis Patriots.
How they said? How did they say in that movie? We're back, and it's going to be hard to pick against them come championship time. And I'm gonna tell you right now, they're a good ball club, and I'm excited to watch them play.
Your matchup is set. Division I select bracket, ladies and gentlemen. It's the 3 seed John Curtis versus the 13 seed Brother Morton. This game will be played Saturday at 7 p.m. It will end the final game of the weekend. So that is your nightcap final one, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow.
Brother Morton, John Curtis, an all New Orleans showdown.
That's amazing.
Everybody thought it was going to be Edna Core and Warren Easton for the all New Orleans showdown.
Yeah, I think all of us picked that. The majority of us did.
And we got Brother Morton and John Curtis.
Yeah, unbelievable. What we got? 4?
Division I non-select, ladies and gentlemen.
Division 1?
It will start off with Ruston and Zachary. 1 versus 5 tonight. Zachary trying to defend their crown would not be easy tonight, because they had to go all the way down to Ruston, and Ruston was feeling it, Gary. They could feel it in their bones. They wanted it more than anybody I've known in a very long time. You could just see it. And tonight, well, Gary, they're partying like it's 1990 tonight, because they're going back to the Dome.
Ruston has always been a special team. We've been talking about them all year, and they went into Zachary. Oh, actually, Zachary came into their field, and they put it on them.
It would not be denied tonight.
They would not be denied tonight. So congratulations to Ruston for doing a great job. Congratulations to Zachary for a great year, but Ruston had a little bit more.
A team of destiny has a shot to finish it off.
Right.
And the grandest stage.
And it was pretty close, but at the end, Ruston came out. What was the score, Jordan?
Final score tonight, Ruston punches their ticket 37-22. The 1 seed is headed to New Orleans.
That's great. That's congratulations to Ruston.
You know they're excited over there right now.
They've always been a team of destiny, but they got somebody that's going to be standing in their way.
I'll tell you what. This next matchup, Destrehan and Westgate, they talk about a physical football game that occurred tonight between these two teams. If you could shut down a Westgate offense tonight, it shows me you got something on the other sideline.
That's right.
Destrehan, they've been quiet all year. They're undefeated, Gary. They're going back to New Orleans to play for the title, and they ain't got far to go.
No. I'll tell you what, this is going to be one of the best matchups. You got the matchup, the Battle of North Louisiana versus South Louisiana.
You got some really good matchups, and this one right here might be in the top 3 equation out of the 8.
Correct. But it's going to be interesting to see how these two teams work against each other, because I'm going to tell you, Destrehan is a quiet, undefeated team that you don't hear about.
You're going to see some college linemen in this contest on both sides. You're going to see some playmakers, and you're going to see some damn good coaching between Ruston and Destrehan.
Right. You know, Destrehan takes out Westgate. Congratulations to Westgate, defending state champions, but fell a little bit short.
Yeah, they played up this season to 5A, and they fall in the semifinals.
Right.
That's a huge statement for them.
What was the final?
Final score, Destrehan 21, Westgate 6 tonight.
Oh, wow.
So it looks like Destrehan has been leaning on their defense the last few weeks. So we might see a offense versus defense state championship next week.
Very well could.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Your matchup is set. It is number 1 ranked Ruston versus number 3 ranked Destrehan. This game will be played Friday at 7 p.m. Your nightcap on the Friday selections, and it's a good one.
Yes, sir.
We're going to be there all day, and I know once 7 o'clock hits, it's going to be like a boy on Christmas morning.
You right. Oh, man. Now we go to Division 2.
Division 2 non-select, ladies and gentlemen. You start off with 2 teams that have never tasted a semifinal game before. You know they were licking their chops. It was emotional, and the feeling in the stadium tonight was at an all-time high, because they'll never forget this night.
Right. And, you know, it's a shame that somebody has to lose this game, but, boy, you know, whenever you get to this level, you know, you just got to leave it all out on the field. And one team woke up and one team didn't.
Gary, total domination tonight. North DeSoto comes on the road and takes down the 1 seed. Iowa falls at home tonight. Final score, North DeSoto 38, Iowa 9. Hello, New Orleans. It is your first ever trip to the big dance. Congratulations, North DeSoto. What a huge moment for that community. What a huge moment for that school. What a huge moment for that football team.
Oh, you're right.
First ever trip.
When the first times, you know, you're in shock. Everybody's like, "Oh my God, we finally made it here." You know, all I gotta say is that yes, you made it there. Enjoy it, but you got business still left to attend to. You know, get ready, because you got a good team that's coming up looking for you.
It should be a great matchup right there, too. A lot of points I'm expecting in that one.
Most definitely.
Who would they play? Lutcher and West Feliciana would dance tonight down in West Feliciana. And you would look at this matchup and you thought that this had a shot to break the points on the scoreboard because of how good these two offenses were.
Right.
Lutcher tonight, 2-touchdown winner on the road. A lot of people would have called you crazy.
Right. I mean, you know, Lutcher.
A lot of people said this would probably go down to the last second who had the ball last.
Correct. And it really was like that. It was back and forth, you know, as far as it was one touchdown ahead, one touch, you know, tied, blah, blah, blah. But Lutcher just pretty much turned it on at the right time and just ended up winning by 2 scores.
Lutcher goes on the road tonight. Their highly talented quarterback leads the way, 35-21. Lutcher back in New Orleans.
Right.
We seen them a couple years ago. They went, back to back on state championships. Right. I can't remember the years, but Lutcher trying to add more to their trophy case. Right. But it won't be easy because North DeSoto hungrier than ever.
And Jordy, on this one, number 1 and 2 both fall in the semis.
Both fall in the semis.
So you got the number 4 North DeSoto going against the number 6 Lutcher. So that is, amazing in itself. But they just wanted it more, Jordy. They just wanted it a little bit more.
Your matchup is set. North DeSoto trying to get their first ever title. Lutcher trying to add another title to their collection. Saturday, noon, kickoff to kick off our Saturday games. 3 games that day, and your first one will be for the Division II non-select championship. Get ready, because this one has fireworks written all over it.
All over it. And I can't wait to see it.
North DeSoto Lutcher, Saturday at noon, number 4 versus number 6.
Correct.
Here we go. Division III non-select. Might be one of my favorite state championship games of the weekend.
Mine too, because of them right there. They have tradition. We had one of the best games of the weekend that we talked about. Manny versus St. James. Who would have the fire strong enough to win? And it was an exciting game.
Would Manny bounce back from last week's struggle with Rose Pine? That was the question mark.
Correct.
They will be at home, and they're comfortable at home. They play really, really well at home under that fan base, all the fireworks in pregame, and that senior class. You knew that was their final time on that football field.
And you had St. James, who's been scoring points.
There was a good
scoring
offense.
Some points. They're putting down some good points on there.
That was a really good offense going into Manny tonight.
How could they, handle Manny's defense? Could they score? Could they move on them? Well, Manny had some things to say about that.
Manny answered a lot of questions tonight and put a lot of critics to silence tonight.
Right.
If that's the correct terms to use. Manny Tigers, they return all those guys from last year's state runner-ups team, and guess where they're going back? They're going back to the state championship with a bad taste in their mouth.
Right, and they want to get it.
They want to send this senior class out the right way, and they got a shot.
Right, and I'm gonna tell you, they got a good shot. What was the score, Jordan?
Final score: Manny over St. James, 32-13. A game that you just thought was gonna be wow.
Yes.
And it's a separated score, and Manny dominated this football game.
Manny just got in there, and they just started putting basically I said that they just started doing what they wanted to do. They just kept on doing it what Manny normally does. And
the Manny way.
Did it the Manny way. That's right. So congratulations to Manny. Congratulations to St. James on a great year, but Manny is moving on.
3rd straight appearance in the state title game. 1 runner-up, 1 state title. What's in store in year 3?
Right. And who are they going to be facing there, Mr. Jordy?
Tell you what, Union Parish A Meet, that had state championship vibes written all over it.
That could have easily been a title game right there.
It could have been. Yeah. But when you tell me Union Parish, runner-ups, you tell me that senior class is just going to fall in the semifinals after 2 straight runner-up appearances in the state title game? I don't think so.
They're not going to roll over and die. They're going to actually dominate.
Gary, this senior class was not going to be denied on their final home game. There is only one way to end their journey, and it's in New Orleans.
Right. And what's that running back's name?
Mr. Trey Holly.
Mr. Trey Holly, that's the all-time leading rusher in Louisiana. That's every time he gains a yard, he adds to his record. Let me tell you something. This man had it set all year. We watched him many times in the first, and he always said it. He said he wanted that title. He wanted it. Well, guess what? He has a shot at it again.
Gary, we watched last year when Sterlington beat Union Parish in the Dome. Who stayed out there and watched the celebration?
Trey Holly.
Trey Holly stayed out there and watched Sterlington celebrate on the field, and you knew right then and there this man would be back.
Right. And I'll tell you what, he's been watching him all year and watching what he does and seeing how he handles himself. This man is taking it upon himself, but he actually has taken the reins and said, okay, come with me, but don't get on my back. He says, let's go together. They go out there and they work together. You can't have just one person in the team. And Trey Holly's the leader of that team, yes. But he's got a lot of support with him, and they're hungry. They want that title so bad. The fireworks will be going crazy in the Dome. But could Union Parish beat the Amite Warriors? And yes, they did, didn't they?
At home, the final time for that senior group that has 2 state runner-ups in their trophy case.
How bad?
They wasn't going to lose tonight.
I know.
28-8 final score.
Oh,
the Farmers are back in the title game. Manny has a bad taste in their mouth. Union Parish has a bad taste in their mouth. Somebody's bringing a state title home next week. Gary, this has physicality written all over it. This has a barn burner written all over it.
Oh, this is going to be one of the... We keep on saying it, but man, they got it right. The games, the title games are going to be epic. Manny, Union Parish. Enough said.
Take my money.
That's right. Let's go.
I'll be there. Y'all come celebrate in the end zone afterwards.
That's right.
May the best team win. If it's Trey Holly going out a champion, what a story. If it's Tackett Curtis going out a champion, what a story.
Right.
Both of these two individuals will have great college careers. One's going to USC, one's going to LSU, and their whole support cast. They got a lot of people on Manning that's going to play college football.
Right.
There's a lot of people in Union Parish that's going to play college football.
Right.
That's 2 great coaching staffs. That's 2 great fan bases.
This is the one scenario that I always said. I said it's a shame that somebody has to lose. But this is the one that I could say it is a shame that one of these teams have to lose because they're both so good and striving for something so prominent and so proud. So, congratulations, Manny, and congratulations, Union Parish. Let's get it on.
Tackett Curtis, Trey Holly, state championship game, Division III, non-select, Saturday at 3:30. You don't want to miss it. Be there or be square.
You right, buddy. One more to go, Mr. Jordy. Man, isn't this awesome?
Division IV non-select is your final slate of games. Oak Grove and Haynesville, the meeting again. Haynesville, the better of this matchup in the regular season. They said Oak Grove had a lot of turnovers then.
Right.
I don't think Oak Grove had a lot of turnovers tonight, Gary.
No, they didn't turn the ball over. If they did maybe once, it was unbelievable.
They pinned their ears back tonight and got after it. And I heard the defense was phenomenal. And I heard the offense was clicking on all cylinders. And tradition met tradition tonight. And Oak Grove is back in the title game after a 48-7 victory on the road. They went down there with it on their mind.
48-7. They had 48-7.
48-7. Oak Grove gets their revenge, and they punch their ticket to the title game. We got Oak Grove sitting right here above us. They're going to the state title game. Congratulations to the 8th seed, Gary.
Wow. Hey, congratulations, Oak Grove. We knew this was going to be a barn burner, but we didn't see the dominance like that. Congratulations to Oak Grove.
It's hard to beat somebody
twice.
twice.
It is hard to beat them twice. And like you said, the first time they had a lot of turnovers, they just basically said, don't give them the ball. And it looks like from the score they didn't.
They probably won the line of scrimmage,
Right.
if I had to guess. And when you can win the trenches in the postseason, you're going to win a lot of football games.
Right. Now, who did they play, Jordan?
Man, this next game right here, I said this semifinal game right here, I would pay money to see because this was a state championship caliber football game.
Correct.
Mangum and Homer. You had Jalen Williams over there at Mangum. Nobody has stopped him all season. Homer is one of the few teams that's kept Trey Holly in
Right.
check this year. So what would happen when Homer's stingy defense met Mangum's talented running back tonight?
Well,
It was 18-18 at halftime, and Homer pitchers are shut out in the second half and
Wow.
run away with it, and they're going back to New Orleans, and we seen how good they were in New Orleans last year.
right.
How much excitement and fun they had under the lights.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be Homer back in the Superdome with a chance to repeat, Gary.
So what was the final?
Final score 38-18. Down goes
Wow,
Mangum.
Mangum. That was, Mangum had, raised a lot of eyebrows in the playoffs. And, Homer, what's my saying?
Beat
To be
the
the champ, you got to beat the champ.
Champ still rolling.
Yeah, champ's still rolling. But can you imagine Oak Grove and Homer, title game, look out.
Gary,
Fireworks, man.
Two different offenses in
Yes.
this one.
Two totally different types of offense.
Can Oak Grove keep the ball away from that high-powered Homer offense?
That's
And
the
can
key.
Oak Grove move the football on this Homer defense?
Correct. That's going to be the $1 million question.
Thursday we get to see this one, and it's the first game of the whole weekend.
Right. So that's going to be the 3:30 game. This game right here is going to set the
It could
precedence
go a lot
for
of different ways.
set the precedence for the week for a lot of them, I think. But this game right here I think it's going to be which ball club can, basically go out there and do what they normally do. Can they,
Turnovers,
have their will with the other team? Can they do that?
turnovers and line of scrimmage.
Yeah, turnovers, line of scrimmage, got to stay clean. Gonna be awesome, interesting. Can't wait to see it.
Matchup is set. Number 2 Homer versus number 8 Oak Grove, Thursday at 3:30. That is your slate of games. That is your
Man.
state championship weekend, my friend.
Man, Jordan, we've talked about these teams all year, and it's so awesome to see these guys put their stuff together and, play for a title. And I'm going to tell you, some of these scores were closer than we thought. Some of them were a little bit further apart, but they were all good ball games, in my eyes, the majority of them. And I can't wait to see what's going to happen in the championship matches in New Orleans.
Helmet stickers to give out tonight, Mr. Swallow.
Got a couple of them.
I'll go ahead and start with my 4. And I'm giving 4 out to the locals tonight.
Okay.
Congratulations to our locals for punching their ticket to the Dome. We're going to start off with Dunham right there in Baton Rouge.
Right.
Getting to the state title game. Congratulations. St. Thomas More gets my 2nd helmet sticker right here in
Right.
Lafayette. LCA follows suit with my 3rd. And Vermilion Catholic gets my 4th. We got 4 locals going to the Dome next weekend.
Well, as far as helmet stickers, I was a little bit more on that. I was looking at the different teams from around the state. I got one local and I got the rest of that. But my first one was Destrehan. Quiet, unbeaten, punching their ticket, just business as usual.
Business as usual.
VC, Vermilion Catholic game we watch. I think it's something that they deserve.
Something in the water over there.
So yeah, something in the water over there. Brother Martin on their upset of our local Karen Crow. Brother Martin came out and they did something that you don't see often. They actually beat Carencro in the Crow Dome. They actually came out in the playoffs when it meant something. They came out here and did a good job on that. And my fourth one is he's back, John Curtis. You know, we didn't expect them to be as strong and be in the title game. I mean, whenever we talk, I didn't think they were going to be in the title game. They're in the title game. They're back.
Not in that road they have.
Yes, they're back. So I had to give them a little love there.
All right, games of the night. I'm going to give 3 outs. John Curtis over Catholic of Baton Rouge, 24-21 victory tonight. That's a game of the night.
Right.
Dunham over ULab, 7-point victory for Dunham. Huge win for that program. And St. Charles over Notre Dame, another thrilling game between those two programs. It always lives up to the hype.
Right. I only got 3. I got Ruston over Zachary. You know, I got Homer over Mangum, and I got Oak Grove over Haynesville.
Upsets of the night, ladies and gentlemen. Here's what I put. No upsets when you're this deep into the playoffs. It's earned at this point of the season. Throw the records and seeds out, Gary.
Well, you know, upsets, I didn't really count them all as upsets, but I had to put some games. LCA dominating Turlings. I wanted to just give some extra love on that.
6 takes down 2.
Yeah, 6 takes down 2. John Curtis over Catholic of Baton Rouge.
Take down the defending state champ.
Doing
Not
that.
Expected.
Brother Martin over Carencro. That wasn't expected by us.
13 takes down 8.
Yeah. Lutcher.
6 takes down 2.
Yeah, against West Feliciana. And North DeSoto over Iowa.
4 takes down 1.
1 goes down.
1 goes down.
And that's it. And you know,
okay.
That's pretty much what I got on those. And those were just basically upsets because of the seeding.
Correct.
I think. You know.
And I put, when you this deep into the playoffs, it really you can't really call it.
Right. I mean, you know, and we talked about this earlier. The numbers on the side of the names, when you're in the semis, the quarters and the semis, you just assume throw that away.
Mm-hmm.
Because, especially with the new format the way it is, they're all seasoned. So look out.
Yep. UTL statement win of the night goes to LCA hanging 68 on Turlings tonight on the road.
Right.
Like that.
That's right.
John Curtis knocking off Catholic of Baton Rouge in Baton Rouge tonight. Big time win. Ruston over Zachary. They took down the defending state champs. North DeSoto at Iowa tonight, and the way they dominated that game and punching their ticket to the first ever state championship. That is my statement wins of the night.
I got those, but I got Union Parish. Trey Holly made a statement. I'm going back to New Orleans, and I'm going there for a reason. So that's the only other, yours plus the ones that I just added that one. So it is pretty much the same, Mr. Jordan.
Braden, we talked about this a little earlier in the show. He brought the comment up. LCA STM might set a record on Friday with the longest game to be played for a state championship.
Right.
With the amount of passing going on in that game. We made the statement earlier. We said the 3:30 game will not start on time.
No, it won't. It's gonna, that game's going to be wide open. Stop, start, stop, incomplete pass, whatever. Oh my God, it's going to be a long game, but it's going to be an exciting game, I think.
It's going to be an exciting one. There's going to be a lot of points scored that night.
Right, I think it will. Guys, I'm going to tell you, you know, this has been one great, crazy night, but man, it's been a crazy year. Jordy, can you believe we're going to the Dome, man. We're going to New Orleans.
I'm going to be there.
And, you know, it's unbelievable how, you know, we get so excited when we start, but then we get so sad whenever it's coming to an end. Next week we're going to be, you know, after next week we have no more high school football, man.
Write your phone number. Gary, most intriguing game you're looking forward to next weekend? What's the game you're looking forward to the most?
Ooh, all Acadiana.
So you're looking forward to the LCA STM game next week?
Yes.
I think I'm looking forward to that Union Parish and Manny game next week.
I'm going to tell you, there's so many that I love I love high school sports. And when you see these kids play with, everything that they got and you put it all on the line, it makes you sad to see some teams lose. But it makes the ones that are still alive strive and work to get, to get better and to take it to that next level. And the next level is the state championship. And that's where these guys are. These guys are there. And now they just have to go get that gold trophy. I tell this to everybody. When you're at the Dome, you're going to get a trophy. You're going to get a silver one or you're going to get a gold one. Everybody wants that gold trophy.
Correct.
They want that gold state championship trophy. They don't want to have that runner-up on it. They want to have that champion. And you know what? We got some great young men that are going to be playing for that. And that's why I'm saying, I think, looking at the matchups, I think you're going to have all great games. I strongly, in my heart, feel that this is going to be the best set of games that we've had in years.
Well, Gary, we're going to open the call lines up right now. We're just going to hang out. Our show's pretty much over right now.
Yeah.
If anybody would like to call in and talk about a semifinal game that you witnessed tonight, or your reactions of some of the scores, or your thoughts on some of the state championship matchups next week, if you want to make some picks right now, if you want to talk about some outstanding performances that you've seen in person tonight, the floor is yours. If you don't want to talk to me and Gary, we completely understand.
Yeah.
But we'll keep it rolling a little bit longer. The call line is in the comments. It is 337-351-1882. Give us a call before we shut the recap show down tonight. Let's talk some high school football.
Right. Jordy, and we can talk about a lot of things, but I'm going to tell you, the thing that I saw tonight more than anything that I really, really love to teams that were really, especially the one that we watched. The sportsmanship was really, really good. It got, the intensity was there. But when you saw a lot of those kids, hugging each other after the game, the winners, hugging the losing team, that was very special to me. And you see that, sportsmanship is something that really touches my heart. And I think we got a lot of that going on right now.
Mr. Jeff Williams, hit the call line and talk to us about what happened down in Ruston tonight, and also tell us about how proud are you of that LCA night football team. We'd love to hear from you, Mr. Jeff.
The more the merrier.
Before we shut things down tonight, call line is in the chat. 337-351-1882. Who's going to be the first caller of the night?
They might be embarrassed.
I know I couldn't do it.
I don't know. Oh, man.
Just want to talk some high school football with somebody.
That's right.
It was a big night across the state of Louisiana.
And the thing about it is, look at our helmets, Jordy, our championship row. Okay,
they can't see it.
Well, we're out of the four that we have of that, 3 winners.
Yep, three of them are going.
Three of them are going to the Dome, and then we would have more if ever we had some other helmets. But I mean, it's amazing.
Yeah, we got 14 people watching.
Yeah.
Somebody hit that call on.
Yeah, come on now, call and talk to us about who's doing what and everything like that. I want to say a couple things too about all of these coaches.
Uh-oh.
Somebody here?
Somebody's calling.
Okay. Hold on.
Put that thing on speaker.
Hold on, I'll show you. Hello.
Hello, you're on the phone with Gary Swallow and Jordan Taylor. This is Under the Lights. Who we have the pleasure of talking to tonight?
Man, this is Mr. Edward Hutchins, better known as Flappy.
The Flap Man.
Flappy Hutchins checking into the chat tonight, checking in on the call lines. It's a late night edition of the recap show. We're hanging out here before we go get a bite at King's. What's going on tonight, Flappy?
Well, I done made all my picks in the comments, and I seen y'all was sitting there waiting on the call, so I said I can't let y'all sit there by yourselves. So let me
Hey, I appreciate that. We talk to each other all the time.
Yeah, boy, it's a late night, great football, man.
Yeah.
And semifinal week's over. Now we go to New Orleans next week. What's some biggest shockwaves that you've seen tonight looking at some of these scores?
Man, to be honest with you, I don't know. Like I put in the comments earlier, I think this year is going to be the best ever state championship games on paper. They have some great matchups, and
I completely agree with
they
that.
will
man.
have some slobber knockers.
Flappy, we were talking about this. I said this is going to probably be the most competitive championship weekend that we've had in a long time. So it's going to be unbelievable.
I definitely agree. Definitely agree. But I'm more pumped up to see that Union Parish Manning game. I think that's gonna be Alabama versus LSU ball game.
I like it.
I like it. That's a good comparison. Most definitely.
It's you got a great team against what proven to be the best running back in the state. You know, it's gonna be great.
Could you imagine when Tacky Curtis and Trey Holly meet in the hole for the?
Wow!
It's
Wow!
a moment whenever
That's going to be
four
amazing.
meets one.
Correct. It's going to
Yes.
be amazing. It's going to be
Yeah,
amazing.
like you said earlier, take all those numbers on the side, their rankings, and just erase them because those numbers don't mean nothing no more.
You're right, my friend.
When you heading back to the Dome, my friend, I know it's been a while since you've been there to witness some games.
Man, I think they got a picture of me that says I ain't welcome over there no more.
Come on now.
No, I'm joking. Man, I'd love to make it back over there. Just ain't got the time and everything.
Well, you got my number next week. I'll keep you update with all the games coming. What happens?
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah.
Flat.
Oh yeah. And that other game, that Battle of Lafayette. I think it's gonna be a good one, but I just think LCA just gonna take it from STM. I don't want to upset nobody. I just think LCA is gonna take it.
That's why we play the game, buddy.
Yeah, you're right. Like I said, everything's good on paper.
That's right.
Flap, great talking to you tonight. We're gonna get you on out of here. Somebody's beeping in. We'll see you down the road, brother.
All right, my fellas, y'all keep up the good work, and y'all be safe next week on your way to New Orleans.
Yes,
All
sir.
right, my brother. Later.
Y'all have a good one.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
That was Mr. Flappy Hutchins. His kids went to Opelousas Catholic, Gary. He's a Port Barre alumni checking into the chat tonight. Thank you so much to Mr. Flappy. Let's see, we had as a missed call. Let's see who we have here.
Two, two, five.
I don't know who that was, but left a message. We're trying to get him back.
Hello, this is Jeff Williams.
Hey, Jeff. This is Gary Swallow and Jordy Taylor. All right, Under the Lights.
Good evening, or good morning,
Oh, yes.
whatever it is. How you
Good
guys
morning,
doing?
my friend. I know the party has just begun down in Ruston tonight.
Oh man, it's amazing, man. It was an electric atmosphere all day in Ruston, man, and yeah, definitely celebrating tonight, man.
Well, walk us through the day. What's it been like in that community? I heard it was a sellout of the reserved seats. It was probably standing room only for general admission. Talk to us about the atmosphere tonight.
Man, well, being a member of the 1990 National Championship team, man, it brought back memories of those days when I was a player at Ruston High myself. It was a sellout crowd, standing room only, people standing on the tracks. All of the seats were full, general admission and reserve, and just an electric crowd. A lot of tailgating going on all day outside the stadium. Big pep rally at 3 p.m. this afternoon at the end of school, and then roll right into the night, man. So it was great.
Well, that's awesome. You know, what did you feel going into the game that, you know, y'all needed to worry about more than anything? Or was it just something that did y'all have a feeling that y'all were going to do it no matter what, or did you have some concerns?
Well, me personally, of course, it's Zachary, man, and they've won 4 state championships in the last 7 years, so you're always concerned, you know. But I personally had told people all year long that I no offense to Zachary, they're a great football team, but I thought from a style perspective that, you know, Ruston's style was all bad for Zachary. And I thought this whole year that, you know, we would be able to win pretty handily in that game. And I know a lot of other people didn't think that, but, you know, our power running football game is second to none in the state at Ruston. And one of the main things that we can do that you have to be able to do when you play Zachary is we can rush the passer. So, so I like that. I thought if we were able to tackle in space one-on-one, and get them in long passing downs, I felt like our defensive line would do what they've done all year and get to the quarterback. And, you know, they did. And, I mean, hats off to Zachary and to their tremendous quarterback. He ended the game injured in the fourth quarter, so prayers go out to him. I hope everything's okay with him, man. But we just feel like it's our year in Ruston. We felt that way all year. And we felt that it was perfect that we got the defending state champs. If you want to become the new king, the best way to do that is to knock off the defending kings, and that's kind of the game plan.
There you go, my friend. So how about a little bit into the future? Next Friday night, the final game of the night, you got Destrehan, the number 3 ranked team. What do you know?
Well, we know that, first of all, starting with Destrehan has knocked us out of the playoffs the last 2 years in a row. And dating back to my knowledge, I don't recall us ever beating Destrehan. Okay. So it's a big matchup. Of course, they are an undefeated team rolling into the Superdome next week. But like I said, I think we are as talented a group as anybody this year, and I just think that after 30 years, it's just our time, you know, and so we look forward to the matchup, but totally confident that these kids and these coaches will go in and take care of business in the Superdome next week like they've been doing all year.
Right.
Mr. Jeff, you got to come say hello to us next Friday night whenever we get to the Dome.
Certainly, definitely a pleasure. It would be a pleasure to meet you guys. I'm a big fan of your work. Thank you all for what you do, and definitely I'm always watching and checking you guys out. So it's a good pleasure to meet you in person.
Well, we appreciate it. And I'm gonna tell you, and you know it. We've been talking high about Ruston. They've been high on our list all year. As a matter of fact, I think we both predicted them to win it all.
Yes.
You all did, yeah, and I appreciate that too. That not a lot of other people did, but you guys have been consistent and faithful with that, so I love it. And then, of course, the other team that I'm associated with, I'm super happy tonight because the LCA Knights for the 6th time in a row are back in the state championship as well. And shout out to Coach Trev and his crew in Lafayette, man. Right. I actually predicted in that game. I was out and spoke to the team at LCA on Wednesday of this week, and they were locked in and focused in, and I actually predicted that they would win by 17 plus tonight, and of course they did. So they just felt like the first time around there was a lot of self-inflicted wounds, and then of course the Hail Mary at the end of the game, and so they just felt like playing a solid game for 4 quarters, that they were just a better football team, and you know, it came out on top tonight. I don't know what happened down the stretch. It looked like a lot of scoring took place pretty quick down the stretch, so I'll be interested in talking to Coach Trev tomorrow to get the details, but glad to see them back in the state championship and looking forward to that. I mean, I'm on top of the world, guys. I've got 2 teams playing on the same day on Friday in the Superdome.
Wow.
it is a wonderful, wonderful feeling, a wonderful, wonderful blessing, and I can't wait to see these coaches and kids in the Superdome next week.
Well, we want to wish you all good luck and
And safe travels
down, and thank you for calling and chatting with us on this late night.
Yes, sir. Well, you all be blessed. See you all in New Orleans next week.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
That was Mr. Jeff Williams down there in Ruston, Louisiana tonight. The celebration is on, but the job is not yet done, Mr. Swallow.
You're right, sir.
A big date with Destrehan next Friday night. What a state championship game.
This is going to be, like I'm going to tell you, Jordy, and this game there, is going to be one thing. But, I mean, I think every game is going to be unbelievable when it comes to, basically just – I think all of them are going to be competitive. I think they're going to all be really rock'em sock'em, whether it's going to be high scoring or defensive or anything like that. I think they're going to all be very competitive ball games, and I'm excited for that.
Yes, Coach. We got Flappy to call in. We got Mr. Jeff to call in. Anybody else want to call in before we shut this baby down? Gary, give them the number. 337-351-1882 is the number if you want to call in and chat with us. Like I said, I know it's late, but, we love talking high school football, and we look forward to talking. We got 9 of them right now not sleeping.
Yeah, just come on in.
They're sticking with us for the late night edition. Who's next to join us tonight on the recap show? Let's talk about a semifinal matchup. Let's talk about those state championship matchups next week,
Right.
Mr. Swallow.
Tell you what, like I said, my most intriguing one that I like is going to be that STM LCA game. I think that's not only a crosstown rival, but I think that's going to be oh my God, I think it's going to be throw everything out.
Well, will we see a record breaker of points that day?
Oh, I think this is going to be a record-breaking points weekend. I think I'm going to tell you, just my point, the way that I feel, you're going to probably see the most points scored combined, the over, of all of the games that we've had. And we have 8. We used to have 9. Now we got 8.
Mm-hmm.
I'll bet you're still going to have a close to that record.
Less blowouts.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Yes.
We'll go pay our money to see blowouts.
No, not one-sided. This is going to be probably some high-scoring games, but it's going to be both ways.
Correct.
And you're going to have 2 teams scoring in the 40s and 50s, or maybe 2 teams scoring in the 30s or something like that. But I think you're going to see some points being scored by both teams and not just, like you said, one-sided. So I'm hoping that'll be the way it is, because I like defensive struggles sometimes. I like offensive, explosions sometimes, but not one-sided.
Yeah.
So that's just my opinion.
So our show is officially done. We're just hanging around, trying to talk some high school football with somebody that wants to call into the chat line, 337-351-1882. If we don't get another call in the next few minutes, we'll shut this down and head on home.
Yes, sir.
And we won't be back till Wednesday.
Wednesday, we got to pick the championship games Wednesday, Jordy. Man.
Some state championship game picks next week. We got
8 games
to pick. How are we going to make that show last 2 hours?
I don't know. We might have to just have some guests or something like that. I'm not really sure. We'll have a few people come in and, championship week, because, Thursday, I'm heading to New Orleans early.
Same. We got our friends over there at K104 that do their morning show.
Correct.
The day of the Dome. So maybe we can get out there to the hotel and go watch them.
That might be something to do, yes. That would be fun.
They do the Northeast football show, and they do a really great job. They got a couple teams representing the Northeast.
Yeah. Well, and the thing about it is that I want to say thank you to all of the people that helped us out and taught us. I mean, we talked about the people that broadcast Neville, Neville Radio, and all that. We've been blessed to meet a lot of great people. And when we went up to North Louisiana, we had the opportunity to do a recap show at their house, really, and we met a lot of great people. Interesting, people. They said we're gonna. Well, hopefully one day we're gonna be able to go out there and take a tour, a stadium tour up there at Neville, because we've been invited to go.
Correct.
And so maybe we'll be able to do that this year.
All right, Mr. Swallow.
Yes, sir.
A few more minutes. We'll see if anybody takes the bait.
Yep. If not, we going home, and I'm going to get some rest because I got to be at work in the morning. That's going to be fun.
USA and Netherlands in the morning.
Yeah, you got that too.
And then LSU and Georgia in the afternoon. How would that one play out?
That's going to be interesting.
Jesse Smith, how about you call in right now and let's talk Oak Grove football?
Tell you what, Jordan, doesn't that look beautiful? All those helmets up there.
It's sad to think that this is the final week
Right.
of the season.
Yeah. One more game pick show. Then we'll see how we're gonna handle the recaps. We might do a recap every day.
I know we got plans to announce one of our shows at the end of the year. We're gonna do a show of games of the year. We're gonna talk about them. We're gonna do a show the same day. We're gonna talk about our favorite spots we got to eat at this year.
Right.
We're gonna talk about
Got to talk a little bit about our sponsors too. A little bit on them, but
we're gonna talk about the top plays of the year. We'll break those down from the games we did. We'll show the video of our top 5 plays of the year.
Right.
So we'll have a show of our top things that we did this year. Tell some stories about some of our road trips.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about how we had to run the extension cord through the back of a locker room down there in Ville Platte.
Yeah.
Or
from the inside of the locker room, up around the back, all the way up on top of the bleachers. That was fun. And then we had to put I actually had to go in there and say, do not unplug this.
And you can't forget about 30-mile-per-hour winds trying to set up a tent at 6:50.
Yeah.
The game was fixing to start at 7, and we're trying to set a tent up in a packed house, bleachers.
Right. And we had fans helping us. We had zip ties all over the place.
Oh my God,
and
we got a call.
We had one.
Oh my God. Hello, this is Jordan Taylor, Gary Swallow with Under the Lights. You're live on the air. Who do we have the pleasure of talking to tonight?
Jordan knows who this is.
I ain't got no clue.
Oh, man. Jesse from Oak Grove.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Jesse James from Oak Grove, Louisiana. He's high on the mountain tonight because his Tigers are headed back to the Superdome, Gary Swallow.
I know it, man. And, hey, let me tell you something. I'm so excited.
I'm about to put y'all helmet on in here. Hold on, let me put it on. Oak Grove, going back to the dome. Look at this helmet.
And it fits.
It fits.
That's
Big one.
Well, you saw the game play out tonight. Talk to us about how that one went down because you talked about in the
Man.
regular season. Haynesville had the upper hand. Y'all had a lot of turnovers in that one. Different story tonight. Hard to beat somebody twice in the same season. This time it was for the right to go to the Dome, so the stakes were upped tonight. How did Oak Grove get out to a big jump and never look back? Talk to me about it.
Well, like I told you before, it was mainly the line of scrimmage. The first time we played, they pushed us around, and we were forcing passes. A lot of mistakes were made because of it.
Mm-hmm.
And this go round, it was more of our trenches. We won the trench battle, and it gave Bradley, our quarterback, more time to throw, more time to read his options, which opened up the running game, and they just couldn't control it after that.
Right.
So did y'all, I heard about a pick six tonight. What about y'all had a lot of more turnovers tonight that y'all caused for them?
Yes, it was kind of more of they kind of had the bug that we had the first go round. They just wasn't Haynesville's night. They fumbled on a must kick right after that pick six, which really opened up the game for Oak Grove.
Right. Well, I'll tell you what, we predicted that it was going to be a tight game, but when we started looking at the score, getting the scores, it was like, oh my God.
Yeah, what happened, man? The floodgates were open.
Right.
And to be honest with you, that I really and truly thought that too. I thought it was going to go down to the wire. Who made the last stop in the fourth quarter? But I said after that pick six and the fumble right after that, and then Oak Grove went and scored 14 more points on to capitalize on it. That was it. It just opened up the floodgates.
So when y'all head to the state championship next Thursday for a 3:30 kickoff against the defending state champs of Homer, which state championship will this be? What number are y'all chasing?
You talk state championship wins?
Yes.
7.
So y'all are after number 7 this week.
I think so. I think that's right. 6 or 7.
Wow.
Wow, that is amazing.
Okay, yeah, that'd be 7th. Okay, because I remember, yeah, you're right. It's 7.
And the last one was in 2020, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, against Grand Lake.
Okay. So it won't be easy. You got a Homer football team, really good football team. They play stingy defense, play with their hair on fire, and you know how athletic they are. So I'm excited to see it in person. I'm not sure which way it will go, but hopefully we can see you at the Dome, my friend.
I hope I see y'all there, too. I got a lot of people I got to meet, from Louisiana Sports Line as well that I have to run into. Hopefully I can meet them all when I'm down there.
Right. Well, just give us a call at that number or text Jordy or whatever. We look forward to meeting with y'all. We usually get in the end zone as far as we watch it from the end zone. We like to watch the end zone play. But we'll be around there, so just holler at us, and we'd love to meet.
That sounds like a plan to me. I'll see y'all there.
Oak Grove back in the Superdome, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for calling in tonight, Jesse, to the late night edition of the recap show, Mr. Swallow.
Ooh, there we go. Tell you what, Jordy, it's a shame that it's getting to the end, of the season, because it seems like we just started. But you know what? We're in the last stages of it. Man.
So there, we got somebody to call from Opelousas tonight. We got somebody to call from Ruston tonight. We got somebody to call from Oak Grove tonight. So
we got a little spread of the everything. Man.
And if I had Coach's number down there in Vermilion Catholic, I would be ringing his number because I know he ain't sleeping.
Oh no, he's jumping around. He ain't gonna sleep for at least a day.
Anybody from Vermilion Catholic watching tonight that would like to call, last shot. You got 2 minutes.
But no, Jordy, I think this is going to be all coaches running around. I'm not sure. I think this was his mother that was taking all of the pictures with everybody in the family. Mm-hmm. It was so great to see her. She was like, "Y'all come take a picture of this. You got to take a picture of that. Got to do this."
Remember what Coach said before they broke the hold up?
Right.
Coach said, "Take every picture you can tonight and hug every person you can tonight. Enjoy every moment of tonight.
Right.
You deserve it.
And, it's just going to start. These teams, believe it or not, this week is just beginning. You not only got to prep, but when you go down there, you got media day. You got to take the picture. You got to practice on the field. You're going to get some time. Then you're going to go and you're going to get in your uniform and you're going to dress and take a group photo.
Don't let the moment get too big.
But you got to make sure that you still do what you're supposed to do. Make it as normal as possible. But like Coach said, enjoy the moment and just cherish it, because you don't know if you'll ever see something like this again. It's amazing. Love it. That was one of the best speeches that I've heard given after a victory. So,
Gary
great job.
Closes out tonight as we have this Week 14 recap show coming to an end.
Well, Jordy, first of all, thank everybody that supports us and that is gracious enough to let us go out and stream their games. Thank you all for a great year. Looking forward to a future with everybody. But seniors, we talk about this every time. Seniors, enjoy it. Love it. Those of you who punched your ticket, cherish it. Those of you who fell a little short, hold your head up high and, say that you did your best. And that's what it's all about, doing your best. Thanks everybody that's involved. Me and Jordy have been doing this a lot, and we have a lot of people to thank. And it starts with all of our helpers, and I know Jordy has to thank Holly, because Holly lets him do, and that's his wife, by the way. And all of the people involved. It's not just us, but I want to thank everybody that's a part of it, and thank everybody that's let us do what we love to do.
Ladies and gentlemen, we say good night for now. Those teams that punched their tickets, 24 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's back to work tomorrow morning as they prep to try to bring a state championship home. We'll see you Wednesday night for the final pick show of the season. Whole sad moments it is, my friend.
Right. But you know what? Exciting.
Exciting for sure. We'll try to stack the panel next week. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, ladies and gentlemen. From myself and Mr. Gary Swallow, we'll see you in New Orleans, my friend.
Right. Yes, sir. Walking to New Orleans. Well, actually, I'm going to drive.
Yes.